What's good? It's Chigozi. It's Wednesday, July 17th, 2019. And NASA and the White House, which are just two branches of the federal government, this one world order Freemasonic network, they're putting on a ritual, or they already did, they put on a ritual in Washington, D.C. on the Washington Monument. And as always, we're going to have a great field day looking at this piece of propaganda, bullshit distraction, because it features NASA always coding their bullshit with the same numbers, and it features the White House, Washington, D.C., coding their propaganda with the same numbers. It's the same piece from them. So look at this. For Apollo 11's moon landing anniversary, the Washington Monument was made to look like a rocket. Clearly Masonic ritual from the federal government. I just noticed this. The Saturn V is the tallest and most powerful rocket ever built. So their tallest and most powerful rocket, named after their most powerful main god, Saturn, the keeper of time, death, judgment. See this? This Saturnian gang, this gang who worships Saturn, they're telling you right here. And look what that sums to. 115, like Masonic. 74, like Masonic. 47, time 47. Saturn's the keeper of time. Also 5, when you write out 5, you get 42. And they used V. V is the 22nd letter. 22 is the master builder number. This year is 220 years since George Washington died. I'm sure this ritual is part of that as well. But look at this 115, because that's how we're going to start this. This is what caught my eye at first. I'm sure it catches your eye too. This is immediately I saw this, and I said, okay, it's clearly more bullshit propaganda from the Freemasons. If you're new to this channel, I'm showing you the clues you can pick up on to understand what's real and what's numerical ritual from the federal government, from NASA, Freemasonry, etc. And I always give you the cheat code. If it's in the mainstream media, it is numerical ritual from this gang. So, this here doesn't even matter. But I'll show you why they're doing this. Apollo 11, 50 years later, 115. We're talking about Saturn V 115. This is a Masonic ritual. Masonic 115. I always say, in space propaganda, it is the numbers for Freemasonry, mainly. And we also get Saturn too. But Masonic 115, Saturn equals 511, the reflection. But look at this. This is even better. Oh, I have it in my notes. Let's just go to my notes. Look at the other 115s these people have. Monument 115, just using the alphabetical order. You see this ritual they're doing inside the news? And that's the thing. You can say, oh yeah, Monument 115, A is 1, Z is 26. When you add the letters in Monument 115, and then you get Masonic, and you can say, okay, 115, they're doing this. This right here is how you know it's not coincidental. Because how many people would say, well, yeah, you're just choosing words, you're choosing monument, you're choosing Masonic. How do you know? Like, it's all context. They say all this dumb stuff, and it's like, dude, the propaganda. Look at this shit. They put it right here all the time. And here, it doesn't end there. Washington equals 50. When you reverse the alphabetical order, reduce each letter to a single digit. America equals 50. 50 years later they're doing this. Scottish equals 50. S is the 19th letter, 1 plus 9 is 10. C is the 3rd letter, O is the 15th, 1 plus 5 is 6. You see how this works? 50. These Scottish Rite Freemasons. And they're putting out this propaganda. It happened on the 16th, and we'll see why. But they're putting this shit out on the 17th. Space 17, Mason 17, NASA 17. Published today, July 17th. And look at this from CNN. On Friday and Saturday, the celebration of this historical milestone will culminate in a 17-minute light show taking viewers back to July 16, 1969, when Apollo 11 made its giant leap for mankind from Florida's Kennedy Space Center, which is just a ritualistic place from the state of Florida. It's by the numbers. But you see this 17-minute light show. Light equals 144 like time. All part of the Saturnian ritual. This happened on the 16th, though. Happened on the 16th. And look at this. Date with a life lesson number of 35. Life lesson number of 35. NASA 35. Here we get NASA propaganda on a date with a life lesson number of 35. Like we always do. And I've predicted on this channel several times. NASA equals 14. Or ends the 14th letter, I mean. A's first. That's what I'm saying. You add these, you get 35. See how gematria works? That was also a date with 62 numerology. You know, Mason 62. Freemason 42. Space 26, always have space propaganda on dates with 26 numerology. Mason 26. Space, Mason, and NASA overlap in gematria. NASA, Mason 7328, Space 28, because they run the space program. It is by the numbers. What a bunch of crap. See the 53 date numerology it happened? That's very, very important. Moon landing 53 plus more that we'll see. 53-second video right here. Washington Monument 241, the 53rd prime. Also, notice how the moon landing was 197th day of the year. That's the 45th prime. 45 the sun is Saturn's magic square. It's also 16/7. 167 is the 39th prime. Masonry 39. Washington Monument anniversary equals 167. And it's commemorating this moon landing date. And again, they did this on yesterday, on 16/7. And where did I get this from? The URL slug from CNN. Washington Monument anniversary is what they're calling it. And it's by the numbers. Again, I don't just make these up. I get it all from the Freemasons. If you want to talk to the Freemasons and get their information, you need to interact with this propaganda software application called CNN, giving you, this week in 28 photos, this week in 26 photos, and then it matches the date numerology. That's how it always is. Washington Monument anniversary equals 139 as well, like Freemasonry. Anniversary equals 146 using alphabetical order. Notice these are just simple ciphers. You take the alphabetical order, and then you either apply numerology in each digit or you don't. So you can do 1 plus 4 is 5, n will be 5. You could do that reduction as well. But this is without reducing. 146. Look at this theatrical actor, false Jew puppet, George Washington, playing the role of the supposedly first president. Birthday, February 22nd, 1732. 146 days, see, from his birthday, they're putting out this propaganda. See what I'm saying? And if you do, we can do some math here. This is 2 and including this day, but if you don't include the end date, it's 145. And remember, it happened on the 16th. You subtract another day, which means it's 144 days. Time 144, light 144, space 44. When you're at a 44, you get 144. Unbelievable. See this? Unbelievable. Space 44. When you're at a 44, you also get 45 against the 197th day of the year on the 16th. But I hope you get the math. This includes the end date. So the 17th, they're including it. But you don't need to include it. And if you didn't do that, it would be 145. Catholic 145. But again, the ritual came out on the 16th, but they're putting out the propaganda on the 17th. And they do this for a specific reason, and we'll see it later. More reasons why. But you see how you subtract 2. I can put it in the calculator for you, but I feel like I over-explained this to the point where you can do it yourself. On July 16th, it was 144 days if you don't include the end date from his birthday. And real quick, when did he die? Of course, 1799, the Bavarian Illuminati founded with 13 families. When you're out 13, you get 99. And again, that's the 220th. So this is the 220th anniversary of his death. This year will be. But his birth, he was born in 32. How do you remember that? 1732, Mason 17, Scottish 32. He's a Scottish Rite Freemason and actor. He is a complete actor, a fraud. Order out of Chaos 222, his 222 birthday. That's their motto, the Freemasons' motto. Scottish 32, America 32, found on a date with a life lesson number of 32. So the 287th anniversary of his birthday is today. Just putting that out for those that wanted to see. But the takeaway is 146 days, anniversary 146. Also, this update time is 7:15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Master 76. That's a big number in George Washington as well. But yeah, he's a 53-second video. Washington Monument 241. That's the 53rd prime. Apollo 11 equals 53 when written out. Moon landing equals 53. Again, NASA 35, the reflection. 53 is the 16th prime. Look at Washington Monument and George Washington. They both summed to 88, 245, 83. Let me see the overlap. Because, again, Washington Monument is an occult obelisk, and it's created by the numbers, by this Kabbalah code. 187 chapters in the Torah. Washington, D.C. equals 187. Ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 187. And this is my favorite part. Look at how NASA puts out this propaganda. 7 months and 3 days, or 30 weeks and 5 days from the 219th anniversary of the death of George Washington. Because, again, this year will be 220 years. Again, 22 is a master builder number. But syncing it up from the 2018, which is the 219th year, till today. See, it's the last day of his anniversary death. Till they're putting this out today. Again, look at the published time. Again, CNN is run by NASA. It's all run by the Jesuit order, the Catholic Church, the Zionist Jews, the Freemasons. Again, propaganda 177, New World Order 177. You see when they're publishing this. 7 months, 3 days. 30 weeks, 5 days. NASA 3573. I mean, it cannot be any better. You see this? NASA propaganda. Always by this code, always by this pattern. It really can't be any better. Here, NASA's putting out bullshit from with the Washington Monument. 7 months and 3 days, 30 weeks and 5 days from when George Washington dies, his date of death, excuse me. Not the exact day. Not 1799, but from 2018, the anniversary, till today. And if you include the end date, that's 7 months, 4 days, and Masonic 74. That would be 30 weeks and 6 days, or 30 and 5. But I hope I didn't confuse anyone. I feel like when my videos are less than 15 minutes, you can follow along. And that is the takeaway. Again, we're talking about NASA propaganda, using the alphabetical order 35, reversing 73. 7 months, 3 days. And again, sacrifice 73, Mason 73. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry 350, it's another 35. Do you see this? George Washington is a Freemason, an actor. This is bullshit, fake news propaganda. Look at this. And then this guy CNN, they're the masters at all this. I mean, look at my mind's just blown. Look at all this shit. Well, first off, before I forget, rocket equals 36. This is 30 weeks and 6 days from when George Washington's death anniversary. And again, they're publishing this propaganda date with 36 life lesson number. 363-foot projection of the Saturn V rocket. And you see this, guy. What? Every night, guys, this is an ongoing Saturnian ritual. I mean, you get this. You see what the federal government is doing. You see what NASA's doing. I've been saying for years, NASA, the federal government, which it's all the same. This One World Order, White House, DC, all these, they put on Saturnian rituals every single day. You guys are all familiar with probably the biggest one going on right now, Donald Trump, a giant Saturnian ritual. You see this. I mean, I would understand if it was the Apollo 20 or some new shit. I don't care. But Saturn V, they're naming it after Saturn, the keeper of time. And look at this. I was going to call this out too. On Tuesday, the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11. So look at these two juxtaposed numbers, 5 and 11. Saturn 511. That's what I was going to say. CNN are the masters at just coding and concocting and crafting this propaganda. Always making it in this fashion. 555 NEW numbers for New World Order. Do you see this? And that's why they're doing this on today. Look at this riddle from the New World Order. New World Order equals 177 when you reverse the alphabetical order. New. N is the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 is 5. E is the 5th letter. W is the 23rd letter. 2 plus 3 is 5. So you see 555. That's why in the movies, they make you dial 555 if you're trying to call someone. They have them in the phone numbers. And of course, you see the red and blue pillars of Freemasonry. Look at this 7, whatever. I don't know if that's a 71 or whatever, but look, 43, 43. 43 is the 14th prime, but Masonic equals 43. Look at this shit. I really can't believe this. Because again, guys, it's one thing to be blatant, but it's another thing to be extremely blatant. Remember, Apollo 11, 50-year anniversary. See, 115, we started off with this. When you do that reduction, you get 43. And look at the Freemasons. 43, 43 right here inside this Masonic propaganda. And if that is 71, that's the 20th prime, time 20. Catholic 71. So, you know, I'm sure this article is not long enough. And it's not, and it's good. It's from our own good. So I can actually close this video and wrap it up. And there's no point dragging this on. I mean, of course, there's plenty more to this ritual. But I think in 16 minutes, I hope you see what's going on. I mean, do you see how you're living out an agenda from NASA, from the federal government, this one world order? NASA 73, 35. I mean, I can't believe it. All the 50, America, Washington 50, that's what's 50 years later. America 50, Washington 50. You know, Monument 115. These are just basic ciphers. Monument 115, see, 115 is just a recap showing you what the government is doing every single day. Scottish 50, again, Scottish 50, 32, like America. George Washington, born 1732, Mason 17. Modern Freemasonry, founded in London, England in 1717, NASA 17, 17-minute light show. See this? On a date with a lifeless number 35, NASA 35, Catholic 35. You know, don't ignore this 42. I did call it this 42, but look, Freemason 42, Mason 62, Mason 26. I mean, come on. It's just such a Masonic day. Anniversary 146. I'm pretty much doing a video again, but for anyone who wants to recap. 146 days from the actor's birthday. You hear me call Donald Trump an actor all the time. Why would you think this guy's any different? This Pisces actor. He is a theatrical performer for the Zionist Jews. For the Freemasons. He's a Scottish Rite Freemason. Guys, they literally said, you can look it up, he was the highest ranking 33rd degree master Scottish Rite Freemason in all of America, and probably maybe even the entire world at one point. The guy is a master Freemason. Again, Master 76. That's why they have the propaganda updated at 715. 715. 1 plus 5 is 6. 76. And here's my favorite part again. NASA branding their propaganda like they do every single time. Peace out.